MIT hits the news more often than any source of science and technology that we know of. It seems that every other week we are talking about one of the many technologies they have created or one of the crazy things they have managed to prove right. And even with all the things we cover on Future 5, we still manage to miss a great majority of what MIT is responsible for. This week on Future 5, we talk about 5 more of the extraordinary breakthroughs that happened at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in recent years. Number 1. Solar cells as light as a feather. Solar power is becoming a big deal as the prices of batteries and other storage technology goes down and the demand for renewable energy goes up. The basics of the panels themselves have stayed relatively the same over the years, with a few simple changes in materials. Recently, researchers at MIT have created the next step in material flexibility by creating a cell that's so thin and light that it can be placed on a soap bubble without popping it. These cells could be used for virtually any technology and definitely will be utilized in space. Although these would be brilliant to see on a consumer level, we doubt we'll see them for quite some time. Researchers predict that it could take a few years before anyone starts to produce these for commercial purposes. Number 2. Wave Predictor. Earthquakes and hurricanes are 2 of the natural disasters of which we have some chance of avoiding. Usually, we can hope to detect hurricanes days before they become dangerous, and warn as well as evacuate the populated places within its projected trajectory. Earthquakes we also have the ability to predict before they hit, using machines that detect the movement of the plates. Waves as well as tsunamis have been a very different and unpredictable disaster until now. MIT has come up with a new theory of using sound waves to detect the motion of the water. Acoustic gravity waves are very long sound waves that cut through the deep ocean at the speed of sound. These very quick currents can sweep up water, nutrients, types of salt, and any other particles in their wake at any water depth. These events are triggered by violent events in the ocean, such as seismic activity, explosions, and landslides. Researchers at MIT have found that even the smallest of events in the ocean also create these waves. The ocean waves you see on the beach create a very small signal, and they don't travel quite as fast as regular acoustic gravity waves. Using this information, MIT developed a general theory that connects the gravity waves and acoustic waves. They found that when 2 surface gravity waves are heading toward each other and oscillating at a similar but not identical frequency, their interaction can release up to 95% of their initial energy in the form of an acoustic wave. This carries the energy and can be detected and calculated into a theory for when a wave might hit next. Number 3. SpongeBob was first. Sponges might seem relatively simple creatures, but they have proven to be the most successful life form we know of. Sponges have remained nearly unchanged in evolution for over 540 million years, predating the Cambrian explosion, when most of the animals we recognize today started to emerge. Recently, we've had to question what we believed was truly the first life form, and from the evidence, it looks like it might just have been the simple sea sponge. The new genetic analysis led by MIT confirms that sea sponges are the source of a curious molecule found in a rock that dates over 640 million years. What does this 100 million years Why is it significant? The Cambrian explosion is a theory shrouded in mystery. Scientists have found countless fossils dating back to this exact time period without any emerging before it. The single-cell organisms seem to have exploded into evolutionary development all at the same time, creating hundreds of different animals simultaneously. This makes it very hard to pinpoint exactly which animals came first, since they all grew so close together. This also has led to the question of why that time period led to so many life forms. This sea sponge predates any life we found by a very long stretch, and may answer some of these life-changing questions for us. Number 4. The loneliness sector. Humans aren't much different than animals in their needs. We, like all other socially driven animals, have the fundamental need for contact with others. This is deeply rooted in our instincts to survive, right along with food, shelter and water. In a study that appeared in the February 11 issue of Cell, MIT neuroscientists have identified a brain region that represented the feeling of loneliness. This cluster of cells was located in the back of the brain in an area called the dorsal raphe nucleus. This cluster is necessary for generating the increased sociability that normally occurs after a period of social isolation. By now, knowing where the section of the brain is, researchers can be aided in diagnosing a number of different disorders, diseases, and it could possibly lead to the invention of new drugs to help treat isolation and depression. Number 5. Gravitational waves. The theory of relativity turned 100 not too long ago. Its father, Albert Einstein, predicted the existence of gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of spacetime that had led to every scientific fiction novel of the last decade. These gravitational waves were thought to be created by extremely violent cosmic cataclysms in the early universe. With his knowledge of the universe and the technology available in 1916, Einstein assumed that such ripples would be vanishingly small and nearly impossible to detect with limitations in technology. Now, for the first time, scientists in the Allied Geo-Scientific Collaboration with the aid of MIT and Caltech have directly observed the ripples of spacetime from gravitational waves in an instrument here on Earth. In doing so, they have dramatically confirmed Einstein's theory yet again, and opened a new way in which we can view the universe. All this sounds extraordinary, but there's more. The scientists have also decoded the gravitational wave signal and determined its source. According to the calculations, the gravitational wave signal was a product of a collision between two massive black holes 1.3 billion light years away. This type of extreme event has never been observed by humans and only theorized until now. This is the biggest discovery since the Higgs boson, and it's another step towards proving we're on the right track with our current understanding of the universe. So thank you MIT, and thank you for watching this episode of Future 5. We hope you enjoyed it and will share it with other people. New episodes of Future 5 every Wednesday and gameplay videos throughout the week. Follow us on social media for all the news. Links in the description. Time out. This is a little joke because Khronos, time out. Great.